Welcome back to the Trump Taj Mahal, the Mark Edis Arena, here in Atlantic City as we get ready for the main event, Shannon Briggs against Francois Botha. I'm Jim Gray. I'm now joined by the former heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes. He was champion from 1978 to 1985, 48-0 before he lost to Michael Spinks, trying to beat Rocky Marciano's record. How do you see this fight tonight? In fact, they had asked you to fight both of them before, but how do you see Briggs and Botha?
Well, I see a good fight. I tell you what, Shannon Briggs will impress me with the fight for George Foreman. He was jabbing, he was moving, he didn't stand in one spot. And if he can do that tonight, I think he'll be successful. But again, Botha, you know, he's a plotter. He comes in wild, unorthodox, and, you know, he can make a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes are not for him, they're for the other guy. So I think it's going to be a good fight tonight.
Now, Larry, it's hard to believe you're going to be 50 years old here very shortly, and you've come up with kind of a novel idea. We've seen it go on, but you're the first to really propose a senior boxing league in which you would fight George Foreman as opposed to George fighting some of the other guys who are still much, much younger. How's that going, and do you think that this league will come off?
Well, we're hoping that it does. I fought Bone Crusher Smith for the title. I won the title. We're hoping that we can bring George Foreman into the fold because, you know, let's face it, George is 50, I'll be 50, and we're getting too old to be fighting these young guys. So therefore, I think that people who never got an opportunity to see George Foreman and I fight would love to see that fight because everywhere I go, every time I turn around, they want to know about George Foreman and I. So George should come on out and do this fight, you know, not ask for the sky because it's not going to be available for us. So, you know, I'm willing to take my cuts or whatever I need to do to get up over what they want.
All right, Larry, you're both great champions. Final prediction here tonight, Briggs and Botha.
Well, you know, even though I was offered with Botha by Sterling McPherson, I think Shannon Briggs is going to win the fight tonight.
You and George Foreman, both great champions. Don't do it. You don't need it. Let's remember you what you were. Thanks, Larry. Good to see you. Back over to you, Steve.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim Gray. We are closing in on the marquee matchup, a battle of heavyweights. Former IBF heavyweight champion Francois Botha set to square off with WBC number 7 rated Shannon Briggs. While Francois Botha and Shannon Briggs have collectively compiled an impressive record of 70 wins and just 4 losses, this could be, and we underline could, the most important, most pivotal bout of their professional lives. For both these fighters enter tonight's contest at the crossroads of their careers. While the pre-fight festivities have been filled with good sportsmanship and jocularity, Francois Botha and Shannon Briggs are keenly aware tonight's contest is not about fun and games, it's about survival. Coming off the most dramatic losses of their careers, each fighter knows a defeat tonight will forever jeopardize their chances for title shots and big money fights.
I can't afford to lose. I don't want to step back 2 steps. I want to rather step up 2 steps.
You're talking about 2 guys who been in there with the best, and now we're fighting to go back to the next level. So you're talking about pure hunger.
No one believed the durable South African had the skills to beat the once self-proclaimed baddest man on the planet. No one, that is, except Francois Botha.
I don't think I've seen Botha move this good in his entire career. He just seems to be avoiding everything Mike does.
I knew he couldn't touch me. I knew, you know, it was easier than I thought it would be, and it was easier than my sparring.
He's toying with Tyson. Who ever thought we'd see this? And the crowd reacts.
And loves it.
I was winning easily, and for a second I lost all concentration and walked right into a shot.
Oh, a straight right hand, down goes Botha. That's all it took, 1 shot, it's over.
Tiger Woods couldn't hit a golf ball better than Mike Tyson hit me. But you know, that's boxing. I'll be back. I'll be, you know, that's why this fight, you gotta have a good win to get back up there again.
And I'm back at the crossroads again. You know, I was given an opportunity to fight Foreman. I took full advantage of it, I felt like. Then I got the Lewis fight. Unfortunately, that didn't go in my favor.
Worried about his conditioning, Briggs surprised the pundits and Lennox Lewis by rigorously attacking the champion early. And there, Briggs almost knocks the champion down. Shannon Briggs believing he has hurt Lewis on the attack.
He's been in tough fights before. He's been hurt before, so he took it well. He rebounded back. He hurt me. I was ready for a 3 or 4 round tough fight.
Down goes Briggs.
but I wasn't ready for a 12-round grueling fight with a champion.
He's getting up.
The fight is controversial because the punch that they stopped the fight, I missed. I missed the punch. I fell to the ground and got up. They stopped the fight. Yeah, I was tired, but I'm supposed to be tired. I'm in a fight. It's the heavyweight championship of the world. I felt like, you know, let him knock me out.
Both combatants fully realize a loss tonight will dash their championship aspirations and remove them from the upper echelon of the heavyweight division.
I can't afford to lose. I mean, there will be things down the road still for me, but, you know, I can't afford to lose.
What's next for Shannon Briggs? I don't want to take a step down. I don't feel like I should have to. He's well known. I'm pretty well known. Great, let's do it.
Steve Albert along with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, Bobby Chez back ringside here at the Mark G. Edis Arena in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We close in on our main event, Francois Botha versus Shannon Briggs, and we turn back to the fight doctor. And Ferdy, is there any doubt that a victory tonight is vital to remain a heavyweight contender?
Well, Botha loses and he changes trainers, he changes diet, he changes altitude, he changes everything. Twice he's done that. You know, he's got to get the message. It's not the exterior things that count, it's him. He's got to change. Well, if he doesn't change tonight and he loses, then he goes back down those stairs to the corral labeled trial horses. And boy, down there, the money is cheap and his big time days are over. He's got to win tonight and win big.
And we turn back to Bobby Chez. And Bobby, what about Shannon Briggs? Not only does he have to win tonight, but he has to look good in winning, yes?
Well, Steve, the only two times he stepped up to the upper echelon, George Foreman and Lennox Lewis, he didn't, you know, the Lennox Lewis fight, he clearly didn't finish, so he didn't win. A lot of people, including myself, thought he didn't beat George Foreman. So the only two times he stepped up to really be counted, he didn't make it. Tonight, he needs to step up again, and he needs to do it in impressive fashion.
All right. How about your keys to victory for both fighters tonight?
Let's start with Francois Botha first. A shorter fighter, slower fighter. He's got to close the gap and get inside. When he gets inside, he has to work that body and also straighten overhand rights. They're his signature punches. Here against Stanton, a bigger fighter, he's going to work in with two jabs and throw his signature punch, the big right hand. Hurts him, and as soon as he does, gets inside, he goes to the body, and he buckles Stanton and works. This is how he has to work against Briggs if he's going to win. He's got to back Briggs up, work his way inside. There's that body shot. He buckles him, and a sort of a right hand and a left hook just to say, okay, take that with you too. Shannon Briggs is the bigger of the fighters. He's got to use a sharp jab to set up all his combinations. The right hand over that lazy jab of Botha and dictate the pace. He's got to set the pace, come forward when he wants to, and rest when he wants. Here against Valdez, you'll see he'll jab, double jab, to throw a left hook, keeping the left hand out there, following with the big overhand looping right, getting Valdez in trouble. There's the jab, the hook off the jab, another 2, 3 jabs, and the big right hand, using that jab to set up that right hand. He goes back to the jab to set up the combination. He's got to work in behind that jab, Steve. It's ever so key to winning this fight.
All right, Bobby, some final thoughts before the ring walks. This is a fight that neither Francois Botha or Shannon Briggs can afford to lose. The loser of this fight places his career in serious jeopardy, probably, as the fight doctor alluded to, going back to being an undercard fighter. As a result, it could make for an intriguing and competitive contest. We shall see. As we take a look at Shannon Briggs waiting in the wings, his two big high-profile fights up until now, a disputed majority decision over George Foreman to win the linear heavyweight title. That in '97, his next fight, he lost by 5th-round TKO to Lennox Lewis for the WBC heavyweight crown. Briggs' first title fight. After an 8-month layoff, he scored an easy first-round knockout over Marcus Road in December. His only other setback in 33 fights, aside from Lewis back in '96, he was knocked out in round 3 by Darrell Wilson after starting out with a record of 25-0.